Okay, we're joined by Jim from Ratrace this afternoon, organisers of last night's Gunpowder Plod. Now, Jim, first of all, let me ask you, as an overall question, how do you feel last night went?
Well, as an overall, we're very happy with the way last night went. Obviously, there's a couple of things that we're not happy about, and the main one is really the fact that there was a big delay to the start of the fireworks show. And we'd like to apologise for that, particularly to families with young kids that weren't able to stay.
Okay, a lot of people have been in touch via Twitter and on Facebook. They've got some specific concerns about what happened last night, and I guess there's something you're looking into at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we never set out to have a show that was delayed by 45 minutes. There was a couple of very specific reasons for that. We certainly don't want to make excuses for it, but I think it's relevant just to give an explanation. The race itself, the 5k race, obviously this is something that we'd never done before, nobody's ever done before. And the race started at 6:30 p.m. on a Monday night after work, and obviously we got a lot of people come in to register for that after work. Our registration didn't go particularly well with those people arriving, and the race was delayed. The start of the race was delayed. That obviously had a knock-on effect to the fireworks, but that knock-on effect was actually compounded with some safety and some security issues that we had on Knavesmire. We had a large number of the public trying to access the middle of the Knavesmire, and we needed to contain them. We did that with our stewards. Obviously we knew that that might happen. We weren't quite prepared for the extent that it did happen, and we did deal with it with stewards, and in the end we also called the police, and they were very, very helpful, and they helped us to clear those people. Unfortunately, what that meant was that there was a major delay, and the fireworks went off 45 minutes late. I'm happy to say, of course, that the fireworks were amazing. You know, those that did stay for them, which was the vast majority of people, had a fantastic show. And again, I can only apologise to those that did need to leave. That we do know, you know, it is a school night. It was cold. We understand that it was families with kids, and I can only apologise that they didn't get to stay and see what was a wonderful show.
Now, there are going to be people listening who say, well, that's fine, Jim, but obviously it's a Monday evening, people are at work. You're going to have people turning up after they've finished work. There's going to be a rush at that time. Why didn't you spot that in advance? Yeah,
there is. I mean, you know, we sent a lot of information out, obviously asking people to arrive as early as possible, but clearly it is a work night. We've never run a race on a Monday night. We needed to run it early enough to make sure that the race could take place and then the fireworks could take place and people could enjoy those. So, you know, there was a timing issue, there was timing constraints that we needed to work to. Our registration system, quite simply, should have coped better with the number of people coming in at that time. You know, that's the way it went. We are sorry for that, you know, to the racers that did come in and weren't able to register as promptly as we would like to have registered them. I mean, we do over 20 events a year. You know, we deal with over 70,000 racers. You know, we're professional guys doing this day in, day out, and our registration system wasn't up to scratch for this event.
It wasn't just the delay of the fireworks, was it? There were a lot of people complaining on Twitter and such like that the actual time to queue for food and drink, that one beer tent for 10,000 people was perhaps not enough.
Well, I think that the level of catering that we put in there, you know, was the sufficient level for the event that we had. We had 8,000 people buy tickets for this event. 7,000 people came through the gates, and we had 11 catering concessions. We did go for a premium offer, which clearly slowed it down. You know, not all the vans there were, you know, were burger vans, greasy spoon. There was some good food on offer, and that did slow it down. And of course, you know, once the delay for the fireworks became apparent, the obvious choice was to go and grab a burger or grab something to eat, and clearly that did compound it. The beer tent, again, you know, we put 12 real ales on, and we wanted to make sure we put, you know, 12 good Yorkshire ales on, obviously including our own. You know, that is a little bit slower to serve than cans of lager. Yeah, the beer tent could have been bigger, but you know, we weren't prepared for how thirsty people were. We certainly weren't looking to sit 10,000 of them at one time for a beer. The beer tent was there as a facility, as was everything else, and you know, we hope that those that got to enjoy a pint enjoyed it. In hindsight, yeah, the bar should have been a bit longer.
What would you say to people who did leave early last night?
Well, I can only apologise that they didn't see the fireworks. The fireworks were brilliant, and clearly they missed a major part of the show. We have decided to make a gesture, and given that it has been families and been young children affected mostly by this, our gesture is really, you know, relating to kids. There's a foundation, the William Rhodes Foundation, that exists in York. There's a young York lad, William, who's got a life-threatening blood disorder, and we've decided to donate the entire proceeds of our kids' ticket sales to his foundation. It's £5,000, and that's the gesture we're going to make. You know, it's an apology, it's a gesture, and we hope that that goes some way in reconciling those that didn't, that weren't able to stay and enjoy the fireworks.
What's the atmosphere like in your office today? Are people looking, if they think, well, they'll calm down by next year, or is there a proper debrief going on?
Well, I think, we can't lose sight of the fact that this was a successful event, and I genuinely believe that. We tried something totally unique, never been done before. We brought a fireworks event back to Knavesmire. It hasn't been done for 17 years. We've pulled it off. The atmosphere just now is we've got to get everything off Busted Thorpe Field, and obviously we need to apologise to those that weren't able to stay and enjoy the fireworks. And clearly we're looking ahead, looking at the learnings that we can make for next year, and looking forward to getting started on some planning for next year.
And you will be back next year?
We certainly hope so.